All right, so Chandler has asked, how does the mom test apply to products that aren't really problems? So stuff that's more novelty or entertainment, desktop hologram trinket, video games, skateboards, that sort of thing. A couple ways to think about this. First, you are not going to get a validation signal out of these from conversation. Like, there's no chance. Basically, you can think like when a product has a really explicit problem behind it, you can think of that as customer risk. Like, does the problem matter? The customer can tell you it matters. They can tell you how much money it's worth to them. They can tell you how much money they're spending to solve it or to deal with the consequences of not having solved it. That means that you can get both a lot of customer understanding and to a certain extent, a reasonable amount of validation that if a solution existed that fit their criteria, they would like to try it, you know? That lets you push back the need to do a product prototype or version one till a lot later because you can get a much stronger signal up front. When you're dealing with this other category, what you call is kind of these novelty or entertainment category, I think of it as product risk. Fundamentally, like no one needs a video game. Like a video game plus Netflix, plus Twitter, plus social media, all of these things are solving the boredom category or the entertainment category. Yeah, people have their preferences within that, and you can learn a lot about those preferences by understanding them. Why they chose this one instead of this one, how they discovered them, why they didn't buy this one, even though everyone else did, which ones they thought they would love but hated. You can get certainly some understanding, right? But much earlier in the process, you need to jump to having a complete prototype and watching people use it, Like this is why video games start with building prototypes, Like is the prototype fun? Like do people want to keep playing it? Will they keep playing it? It's why early access has become such an important part of the video game model. Yeah, it's kind of a revenue optimization, but it's also essential because there's no explicit problem that you're solving, right? So you prototype first. Now, the important thing I'd say here is like prototype first, but understand the people you're prototyping for. You don't need to understand their problems, but you should understand the way they're already engaging with this category, the way their lives are oriented. Like every parent of young kids complains that it's super hard to find activities and good stuff and things to do with the young kids. But actually, there's a billion things you could do. They're a Google search away. You can print out infinite coloring books on your printer. You can find infinite recommendations for cool household activities. The problem is like the parents are tired, busy, and worn down, so they don't want to do this stuff, right? So that's the sort of thing that you can get from customer understanding. What are they already doing? What are they trying? Why did it work? Why did it not work? What haven't they tried that in theory it sounds like they should have wanted to? Why didn't they? And how did they discover these things? Especially with like, the further you go toward novelty, the question of discoverability is a real issue. If someone has an explicit problem, their hair is on fire, they are suffering, they are losing money, they are in pain, they have an unsolved business problem they have to solve. They're very high intent, which means they're going to go on Google or they're going to go to an agent and they're going to type in their problem and they're going to look for solutions and they're going to like search for vendors and suppliers and they're going to get on sales calls to evaluate solutions. They're very proactive. When it's more of a novelty and nice to have, they don't do that sort of explicit search. So the question of how do you get this thing in front of them, how do they become aware of it, becomes a lot more of a critical business model question. Are you going through distribution partners? Is it retail? Are you building your own fan base or audience? Like, how does it get out there? I guess if there was a piece of the business model for this product category that I'd be trying to deal with, like I'd be rapid product prototype, get it into people's hands. Do they actually love it? And then at the same time, I'd be like, okay, fine. From a business model perspective, what's my discovery and distribution and promotion and acquisition strategy? Because I can't count on people searching for me. So what's it going to be? That's probably going to affect your margins because you're probably going to need to pay people, whether it's retailers, promoters, whatever, people with audiences, people with exposure. Yeah, and those are a group that you can do traditional customer development on because they do have explicit goals and problems, which is to make more money and to find more stuff that they can sell, which fits their criteria, and to de-risk their business and to grow. So not true in every case, but, something to consider. So yeah, build fun things, get them in front of the people they're for, and at the same time, then be like very structured about this question of how you're going to distribute, promote, and sell it. All right, hope that helps, man. Thanks for the question.